Hello dear students, welcome to Online Edu Class of Science. Today we will start a new chapter, chapter number 16, Water, a Precious Resource, Part 1. We all are familiar with water. It is essential for the existence of life. So let us see the importance of water. It helps in maintaining body temperature as well as various other life processes such as digestion, distribution of nutrients, excretion, etc. Water is required by plants too for photosynthesis, germination, and transportation of minerals and nutrients. It is also useful in generation of electricity, navigation, irrigation, and for daily routine activities like drinking, cooking, cleaning utensils, etc. Availability of water in nature. When we look at the picture of the earth taken from space, much of its parts appears blue. Do you know why? This is because about 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water. Therefore, our earth is also called a watery planet. Almost 97.5% of water available on the earth's surface is contained in the seas and oceans. This water is salty or saline, which cannot be consumed directly and therefore is unfit for human consumption. For the remaining 2.5%, a major portion, that is 1.7%, is found in frozen form as ice caps on the top of the mountains and in glaciers. Thus, only 0.8% of total water on earth is fresh water, available as river water, lake water and groundwater, and is fit for use for human beings. So, we can say that the actual amount of water available for human use is negligible. Forms of water. Children, we know that water exists in three physical states, that is solid, liquid and gas under different conditions. These three states of matter can be interconverted by heating or cooling. Water can be found in all the three forms at any given time on the earth. The solid form of water, that is snow and ice, is present as ice caps at the poles of the earth, snow-covered mountains and glaciers. Similarly, liquid form of water is present in oceans, lakes, rivers and even as underground water. The gaseous form of water, that is water vapor, is present in the air around us. The continuous circulation of water from the earth's surface and water bodies as water vapor to the atmosphere and from the atmosphere back to the earth's surface as rain, hail and snow is called the water cycle in nature. Now children, the question is, where do we get water from? In our homes, we get water by various means like tap water, wells, hand pumps, bore wells, etc. But from where water comes in these means? The answer is that the water is drawn from nearby lakes, rivers or ponds. The rainwater is the ultimate source of water which gets stored in them and also as underground water. So now children, let us see groundwater as an important source of water. The rainwater and water from other sources such as rivers, lakes and ponds seep through the soil and fill the empty spaces and cracks below the ground. The process of seeping of water into the ground is called infiltration. After saturating the soil, rainwater and water from other sources move downwards and gets collected above impervious rocks. These reservoir of water collected above impervious rocks below the surface of the earth is called groundwater. The upper level of groundwater is called as water table. At places, the groundwater is stored between the layers of hard rock below the water table. This is known as an aquifer. Traditionally, groundwater has been utilized by digging wells deep till it reaches the water table. Manually operated hand pumps or power operated tube wells are also used to pump out the groundwater. This groundwater is used for household, agricultural, and industrial purposes. Groundwater also provides moisture to the soil, which help in proper growth of plants. So students, here we come to the end of this part. I hope you all understood it properly. Thank you.